In this video, we'll give you a clear view of what you can do in Menton. We'll show you everything by category: strolls, night strolls, market, activities, beaches, churches, museum, viewpoints, gardens, festival. We are a French family, former travel planners, and now we run a user-friendly French travel guide, culturefrancia.com. Check the description. You'll find the links to our pages dedicated to Menton, plus our interactive map. First, a quick overall presentation to start. Menton, nicknamed the Pearl of France, is famous for its weather, with more than 300 sunny days a year, which makes it perfect to grow its specialty, the lemon. Menton is located on the French Riviera, right at the Italian border, between the Mediterranean Sea and the Alps in the background. And the area to explore is totally walkable, about 2 kilometers across. Now, the strolls. First, the old town of Menton. It's set on a small hill that peaks at 80 meters high. It's almost entirely pedestrian, and you can get there from different sides. The main entrance is this iconic wide orange-yellow staircase that brings you from the seafront all the way up to the main square of the old town, while still keeping the sea in sight. The square is covered in a black and white pebble mosaic, and it leads to the beautiful basilica that we'll see later in the video. From the square, tons of narrow or wider little streets wind their way deep into the old town like a maze, all of them very picturesque, with an incredible charm and colors clearly inspired by Italy. Colors that change depending on the weather and time of day, whether it's sunny or in the shade. Besides the shiny vibes, you can feel this really peaceful atmosphere, with plenty of house fronts decorated with plants. And as you keep exploring the old town, you slowly start to climb higher, because the little alleys take you almost all the way up to the top of the hill. Then there is the shopping area right below the old town and at seafront level. It's fully pedestrian and super lively, with lots of shops, bars, restaurants, ice cream spots, souvenir stores and shops with lemon-themed products, the local specialty. Even if it's not as old as the old town, this part has its own charm, mixing old and modern, with a few lovely little squares here and there. Next, the main seafront. On one side, it runs along the sea on a slightly raised path, and on part of the other side, it goes right past the foot of the old town, which gives you this amazing backdrop with the sea on one side and colorful facades on the other. Now, just below the seafront, there is the beachfront. Right at the same level as the main beach, it's pretty wide, with a tiled section where you also find bars and restaurants, and a wooden section right next to the sand of the beach. It's a nice spot to walk any time of year, whether the esplanade is quiet or in summer when it's more lively. That's also where you'll see the Menton sign in giant letters right by the beach. Next, the other seafront, on the west side. It also runs above the sea and beaches on a slightly raised path. It's pretty long and can take you all the way to the end of the town. And in high season, some bars and restaurants set up their terraces there, so you can grab a drink or eat with a view over the Mediterranean. Then there is also the jetty of the old port that takes you right to the base of the lighthouse, with a view of the port on one side and open sea on the other, and also a view of the old town, which we'll see in the Viewpoints section. Now, the night strolls. In the evening and at night, Menton is not that lively, even in summer, unlike the other cities on the French Riviera. But when the temperature is nice, it's just a whole different vibe from the day. First, the old town again. It's lit up until a certain time. It feels really calm, sometimes almost lifeless and totally quiet, especially in the small alleyways. There is a big contrast with how it feels during the day. Next, the beachfront by the main beach. In summer, the bar and restaurant terraces stay open when the temperature is nice, which makes it lively and worth strolling by while feeling the night air from the sea. Now the food market. The main food market in Menton is in the pedestrian shopping area. It's an indoor market. Inside an old-style, colorful building, you can find all kinds of good food products there, along with some flowers. Now, the activities. There are several activities you can do in Menton, like walking tours, food tours, and more. We've got a dedicated page on our website where you'll find a full list, with some provider recommendations for each. The link is in the description. Now, the beaches. First, Sablette Beach, which is the main one. It's public and made of coarse sand. There is the main seafront and the old town right behind, and a beautiful view facing the Italian coast and the Alpine mountains. And from the east end of the beach, you get a view of the old town facades. Right next to the main beach, there is Rondelli Beach. This one is made of fine gravel, with the Alps on one side and the old town on the other. It's a mix of public areas and private ones with beach clubs, where you can rent a sunbed, an umbrella, and enjoy some drinks. On the other side of town, on the west, there is a series of beaches all lined up next to each other to form one continuous stretch. These beaches are public and made of gravel, so think about bringing water shoes to make things easier, both on the sand and in the water. Now the churches. The main one is the Saint-Michel Basilica. It's right in the heart of the old town. It's a 17th century Baroque gem, with its colorful facade and bell towers matching perfectly with the colors of the old town. And the most beautiful part is the colorful Italian-style interior with its ceiling fresco and its chandeliers, gold details, and lots of religious art pieces, especially paintings, not to mention its beautiful altar. Right next to it, there is the Pénitent Blanc Chapel. It's on the same square, but it's rarely open to visitors, so do not hesitate to visit it if you ever find it open. It dates back to the 17th century and it's also Baroque in style, with a richly decorated interior. Now the museum. At the entrance of the port, there is the Cocteau Museum. It's inside a small 17th century fort. It was restored in the 1950s by the French artist Jean Cocteau, who decorated it with his very own style. Now the viewpoints. First, at the top of the old town, there is an observation deck, which gives you an amazing view over the mountains. Menton's Bay down below, the beaches, the old port, and over the rooftops of the old town and the bell towers of the Basilica. Now, just next to it, there is the old cemetery of Menton, which really sits at the very top of the old town. As you move around the different paths of the cemetery, you get a full 360-degree view. Depending on where you are, it gives you views over all sides of Menton. And if you visit the cemetery in the late afternoon, from the southwest side, you'll get a great view of the sunset. Next, the top of the stairs and the square of the old town. From there, the view is not super wide, but you can see the sea, the beach, and part of the old port. All of it framed by the yellow facades on the sides and the one of the basilica. Next, the views from the jetties. From the middle and the end of the first jetty, you get a nice view of the old port in the foreground and the colorful facades of the old town in the background. From the middle and the end of the second jetty, you get a similar view, but from a slightly different angle. And from the end of the third jetty, same thing with yet another angle. Now, the gardens. They are a bit out of the way from the center of town. The first one, the Valramé garden, is up in the hills, with its villa right in the middle. It's a botanical garden that dates back to the early 20th century, when it was set up by its English owner. Nowadays, there are plants from all kinds of regions in the world, with a pond and some fountains as well. Next, the Serre de la Madone garden, also up in the hills. This landscape garden, from the first part of the 20th century, was also created by an Englishman. The garden has plants from different regions around the world, plus some fountains and statues. Next, the Carnolès garden. This one is near the sea. It's a citrus garden built around the former summer residence of the princes of Monaco from the 18th century. And today, it's the biggest citrus collection in Europe, with lots of different varieties. Now, the festival. Every year, during 2 weeks in February, Menton celebrates its specialty with a one-of-a-kind event, the Lemon Festival, where you can see huge structures covered with lemons and oranges. You can walk around each one to check them out up close or see them from above, from the stands. There are also parades with floats that have lemon and orange-covered sculptures, and they move right in the middle of the crowd. And in the evening, the displays are still open and they are all lit up, which gives a different vibe compared to the daytime. And on some nights, there are also some parades, with floats that are lit up as well, all of it in a festive atmosphere. Now that you have a clear view of what you can do in Menton, for more info of each place, including opening hours and prices, check out our website, culturefrancia.com. The links are in the description. And for more videos about the French Riviera region, check out our dedicated playlist popping up on the screen. See you in the next video.